it's nothing new, but it's so good to see you. We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, oh, still can't believe you love me.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Emma. I am a first grade teacher on summer break. I am a new mom to a 6-month-old, and I create all kinds of content here on YouTube, and I would love for you to subscribe if you're new here. And if you're not new here, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. Also, I did not mean for these to match, but like, how perfect is that? I cannot believe that it is now July. How did that happen? So today, instead of a weekly vlog, I'm just gonna kind of sit down and do a coffee chat with you guys because I have some things to chat about. It is officially halfway through 2022, and I kind of wanted to like touch base on some of my 2022 goals and just kind of reflect on the first half of the year and kind of set new goals, or, you know, adjust my goals a little bit for the last half of 2022. And I've also just had some things on my mind lately that I wanted to chat with you about. So that's what today's video is going to be. So grab yourself a cup of coffee, a cup of tea. Let's have a little coffee chat. And before we get started, let me know what you're sipping on or snacking on because I'm curious. So I also never want to just make these videos to sit down and like hear myself talk forever. The point of this video is also just to maybe inspire you to set some goals for the last half of the year and maybe reflect on if you set any resolutions or goals, how those are going, maybe make some new goals. I really like Carter Sullivan. She's a YouTuber who does these reset videos every single month, and I love watching them. And it's just not practical for me to do this every single month, but I think right in the middle of the year is a really good natural point to kind of stop and reflect. So that's what I'm gonna do today, and I encourage you to do the same as well. I really try to make my videos meaningful, and I always want to be helpful in my videos, not just here listen to me talk about myself for 20 minutes. I've just been doing a lot of thinking lately. June has been a really sweet month. It's been a lot of fun just getting to be at home all the time with Jordan, my daughter, and it's also just given me a lot more time to self-reflect and kind of think about a lot of things that I just wanted to kind of talk with you about today. Let's first find my goals that I set at the beginning of the year. I'm gonna read what my goals were. So I had a word of the year, and that was kind of my biggest goal, and that word was grace. This was a very all-encompassing word for me because when I am looking back at January me, I was just a fresh mom. Jordan was only a couple of weeks old. My birth experience, my birth trauma was all still very fresh. I was still on maternity leave. Everything was very new, very fresh, just in this huge adjustment period in the biggest change and transformation of my entire life probably. And so I picked the word grace because I've always just kind of been hard on myself, and I wanted to give myself a lot more grace. I wanted to give my husband Michael more grace because we were still kind of figuring all of that out. I wanted to give others more grace and just love others better. I think sometimes we just see the worst in people and we never give them the benefit of the doubt, and we feel like everybody is toxic and out to get us, and it's a very selfish mindset that I was starting to slip into, just this negativity headspace. And so I really wanted to also work on giving other people more grace and giving them the benefit of the doubt and realizing that they are going through their own thing and they're probably not intentionally being toxic or trying to harm people, that they're just doing their best. So that was like my big word for 2022. And as I reflect on that specifically, I feel like I have done a much better job at giving myself and others grace. I definitely still have room to grow, especially with the others part. I think I have done a really good job of listening to my body, listening to my mind and what I need. I started going to therapy and just really letting myself do what I need to do, heal how I need to heal, rest when I need to rest, and not putting all these big expectations and allowing myself to have that grace. I had some tangible goals as well. I wanted to save for our house, our next house, and I also wanted to pay off some debt. And I do feel like we have done a good job at saving, but we've also kind of been in a more spending mindset, I think, with summer and me being home more. It's kind of my fault. I don't know, I've just been in this very materialistic mindset, feeling like I need the next thing. And I hate that. And so that's a goal of mine for the last half of the year, is to really reel that in and kind of think about the why before I buy something. And I think social media definitely plays a part in that, and also me feeling like I have a place on social media. I feel like I need to have new clothes, I need to share hauls, I need to have a nice house, and that's just a mindset I really want to kind of get away from this last half of the year and really be more intentional and purposeful with my money and why I'm buying things, if I really need it or if I'm just doing it for the image of it. And then my last two goals that I wrote down were be more intentional with my time and then be more intentional with YouTube. And I actually set like tangible goals in my YouTube notebook for this year. I don't think it's gonna happen. That's another thing I've been learning is numbers, money, subscribers, views, all of it. It just doesn't matter. And I think it's more important to focus on the content and the purpose, the feelings I want to curate when people watch my content. And yeah, so I guess to wrap up the 2022 goals section of this video, do I feel like I've met every single goal? No. Is that okay? Yes. I don't think I've done a terrible job, but I think that's another reason why I feel like it's good for me to kind of do this mid-year check-in to kind of reset and look forward. Now this is the real like meat of this video, is what are my goals for the last half of the year and kind of these thoughts I've been having about these things and these goals I want to work on. So we're going to start with tangible goals because those don't really matter as much. Those aren't as deep. I would love for us to go get pre-approved and begin. Oh my God. That bird just flew into the window. Oh, that scared me so bad. Anyways, oh my gosh. Okay, I would love for us to get pre-approved and kind of begin the house hunting process in the next 6 months. I don't expect us to find our dream home this fall, but I would like to at least get that started so that way we're prepared, but like I'm not in a rush. And that's another goal of mine that's not really tangible, is to just not be in a rush, not to rush seasons, not to be ready for the next big thing, not to be so materialistic, and just be patient. Because when I am patient and I wait for what the Lord has for me rather than trying to rush into something myself because I'm tired of waiting, what the Lord has is always better every single time. And that's kind of my mindset with this next house, is if He gives us a house in a month and says, here you go, I'll be like, okay, let's go. But if He makes us wait a year or a year and a half or whatever, then I need to be patient because He knows what He's doing and He's already got it laid out for us. And so I really want to just be patient. So that's actually the next goal that I wrote down, is to enjoy each day. Stop wishing it away, because time goes so fast. I'm gonna blink and we're gonna be in our next house and Jordan's gonna be a year old and everything is going to be different. It is mind-blowing to me that it is halfway through this year, because I feel like I had Jordan yesterday. I have always known that time flies, but something about having Jordan has made me really realize it, because it is a tangible thing, a physical thing in front of me that is growing so fast and making me really see every single day how quickly time has gone. And it kind of scares the crap out of me. And it's really made me want to stop and enjoy every moment, because I'm really good, as we probably all are, at wishing seasons away and waiting for the next thing and never being fully satisfied with where I'm at. And I feel like it's such a waste of time. And I want to enjoy every single day. That is also with teaching even next year. I'm always waiting for the weekend and I'm ready for a break. and I love my job, and I don't know what next year is going to bring or the year after. Things just change so quickly. One of my teammates is not coming back next year, and I didn't know that last year except for like a couple days at the end of the year. And I feel like, man, I wish I would have really enjoyed the times that we were together, because now it's gone. You just literally never know when things are going to change. I had a lot of students leave last year just like randomly, and I'm like, man, I really wish I would have enjoyed each day I got with that kiddo, because one day they were like, hey, surprise, today's their last day. And it was really hard for me because I felt like I was just wishing the days away, and you will never get that time back. So that's a goal of mine for every single day, and also for my teaching year next year. Another goal of mine is to prioritize and continue to build up my marriage. Michael and I have been married for 3.5 years, and I talked about this a couple months ago in a vlog, I think. In the first several months of Jordan's life, it was a huge shift, like I talked about, obviously, but not just for me, for our relationship. I had heard before that it's really important in a marriage. You need to put God first, your spouse second, and your kids third. And that made sense to me, but I can't say that I did that right away. I feel like Jordan kind of went above Michael in those first few months, and I was just trying to figure her out. And as I feel like I'm sure most people do in those first few months when you're just getting to know each other, but I really saw it shift our marriage. I really started to understand the why behind that method of God, your spouse, and then your child. It has taken a lot of effort to switch that narrative, and it has made a huge difference in our marriage. So I want to keep going in that direction for the last half of this year, really just focusing on our marriage and prioritizing Michael and our time together. Okay, a couple more things. And then a goal that I have for YouTube, I feel like I've kind of already been doing this, is just to do whatever the heck I want. I have really put myself in a box sometimes and saying I'm only going to do this content, I'm not going to do this. I overthink this platform sometimes, and I want to make everybody happy, and you know what, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. And this space I love, and I've really loved it this summer because I've kind of been able to do whatever I want with it. I feel like I have to put a label on it, and I had to be a teaching channel or I have to be a motherhood channel, and I don't really want to be a motherhood channel, but I'm also more than just a teacher, and so I felt very conflicted. And then I had this epiphany when summer started, and I was thinking about what I wanted to create this summer, and I realized, why does it have to be an anything channel? It's just me. I have really loved just showing me and having coffee chats with you and sharing my heart, or vlogging my very mundane, simple week with my baby, and not putting everything in a box. So yeah, that's just a goal of mine, is to just take away the boxes and the labels and just create this year. And then my very last goal, and I saved this one for last because I wanted to talk more about it, is to not be so addicted to my phone and to social media. I actually just listened to a podcast this morning. It was the Daily Grace podcast. I'll link it below. Somebody sent me their podcast in my Instagram DMs, so if that was you, thank you, because I really enjoyed it. I listened to that on my walk this morning, and I thought it was so perfect because that's exactly what I wanted to talk about today. I don't feel this way as much during the school year because I'm busy being a full-time teacher and a full-time mom, but now that I'm home all the time, I've just felt this addiction to my phone and to social media that I literally have to like have it and be mindlessly scrolling all the time. And not even really the content creation part of it, because I love filming, I love taking random pictures. It's just the consumption of mindlessly scrolling and watching stupid TikTok videos and things that don't bring me anything. And it's just a goal of mine, when I gravitate to grab my phone without even thinking about it, stopping and praying instead, or pulling up, a good sermon to listen to instead, or getting on my Bible app instead, and just being a lot more mindful with the way that I spend my time. The podcast that I listened to this morning said this quote, and I thought it was so powerful, so I wanted to read it. It is from John Piper, and he says, "One of the great uses of Twitter and Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and every social media platform will be to prove at the last day that prayerlessness was not from lack of time." I thought that was so convicting. It's so true. I feel like the more time that I spend on social media, the less time I spend in the Word, or the less time I spend in prayer. I think that that is very intentional, and I don't think that that's an accident. And so I want to be so much more purposeful with my time, and I don't want to look back and think about how many minutes I wasted on Instagram or on TikTok that I could have been spending with Jordan, or I could have been spending in prayer, things that are so much more important. And I think it plays a huge part in what I was saying earlier about having that materialistic mindset of feeling like I am comparing my home and my clothes to everybody around me. And that's because I am constantly looking at everybody's home and everybody's clothes on Instagram or on TikTok, and it is so unhealthy. It always comes from a good place because I have people that I really love catching up on their life and seeing what they're doing on Instagram, but there's always the good with the bad. And so I kind of have to catch myself when it's too much. Those are my biggest goals. I feel like I could just go on so many tangents with each of those topics, but yeah, I'm just in a very interesting phase in my life where I'm learning who I want to be. I'm in a stage that I've never been in, and it's very freeing, and I'm learning there is no old me that I'm trying to get back to. There's just the me that's right now, and who do I want to be today. It's really changed my perspective on myself and my goals and how I live my life every single day and every moment. So if you have any goals for the last half of this year, or anything you just feel like you've been learning lately and thinking about a lot lately, I would absolutely love it if you would share it down below and we can just kind of have a conversation. I hope that you enjoyed this very casual coffee chat this morning. I've just been having lots of thoughts lately. If you watched it all the way to the end, I just want to say thank you so much for listening to my heart and for just being here and supporting me. It just means so much to me, and I hope that you're having a beautiful day and a beautiful week. I can't wait to read your comments about what you've been learning lately and what your goals are for the last half of this year. Thanks for being here. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, friends.
I just feel so lucky.